The previous gap between high-level North-South talks lasted 7 years. This time, the North Korean delegation walked across the military demarcation line for the second time in just 48 hours. Friday's talks were shorter and seemingly more productive. An agreement that reunions of families separated by the Korean War, slated for next week, will go ahead as planned.
First, North Korea and South Korea agreed to hold the reunion of separated families and their relatives as scheduled. Second, the North and South agreed to refrain from slandering each other in order to promote mutual understanding and trust. Third, the North and the South agreed to continue discussing issues of mutual concern.
For weeks, North Korea has maintained that the family meetings could not take place at the same time as annual US-South Korean military exercises, scheduled to begin during next week's reunion event. The South Koreans insist they've made no concessions on that front, and they'll go ahead as planned.
The first step towards trust building is the reunions of the separated families. So we persuaded the North that we should trust each other and hold the event as scheduled, and the North Korean side agreed with us.
North Korea has secured a commitment by both sides not to slander one another, something suggested by Kim Jong-un in his New Year address. The problem for Pyongyang is that much of what it calls slander, such as recent reporting of Kim Jong-un's failure to take off his shoes during a visit to an orphanage, comes from South Korea's media, not its government. South Korea's lead negotiator says he cited Thomas Jefferson on free speech in pointing out that his government couldn't put a stop to such coverage. So after 2 days of talks, South Korea has confirmation of a deal it had already made on family reunions. North Korea has a less than bulletproof agreement on ending slander. And with reports of renewed activity at North Korean nuclear and rocket test sites, relations could always deteriorate again very quickly. But at least the two sides are talking again at this level, and they've promised to continue doing so. Harry Fawcett, Al Jazeera, Seoul.